So if someone was to come across a man who is emotionally entangled with his mother, they may find it hard to understand why this man doesn't just draw the line and live his own life. Because he will be focused on his mother. He will do what he can to meet some of her needs. And he will neglect most of his own needs and his own life. So he won't have much of a life. However, although this will be going on, the man may not even realise that this is the case. And so due to how long this has been going on, this will just be what is normal. And it could take quite some time for him to wake up and to realise that he is living in the wrong way. And if this was to take place, it could mean that he will have a breakdown or get into a relationship. And if he was to get into a relationship and his partner was to make clear that he is out of balance and he is too focused on his mother and that he is neglecting her, he could still resist and deny what is going on. So this person will be on the outside and she will be there to help him. She may like him and love him, or she may just be at the stage where she really likes him, but either way she will have his best intentions in mind. But even then he can resist, which can be seen as strange. But when it comes down to the reason why he can be so defensive, it can be because if he was to face up to what is going on, he could end up coming into contact with a lot of pain. It can be like opening up Pandora's box. And so if he was to face reality, was to get out of denial, move this defense and others out of the way, perhaps a minimization, and he was to see that he is living in the wrong way. And he was just to think about living his own life, let alone actually living his own life. He could experience guilt and shame, and he could experience a lot of fear and anxiety. So living his own life won't be seen as something that is right. It will be seen as something that is bad, and it won't be seen as something that is safe either. It will be seen as a threat to his survival. And due to this, it will be clear that he won't just be able to live his own life. He will have a lot of work to do on himself. And also what is clear is that he won't feel emotionally strong, and he won't feel a sense of self-worth or self-love. He will be a fallen man behind the mask that he may wear. So even if he comes across as happy generally and as though he has it together, behind this facade is likely to be a broken man. And this is why he's not just going to be able to snap his fingers and his life will change. It will be like someone who has been beaten to the ground and can't get up. That's how he can be emotionally and mentally. He can be so beaten down that at this stage he won't have it in him. He might not have it in him to even make a small change, let alone a big change. And he certainly won't be able to change his life overnight. And so this is why he can't just draw the line and move on. It's like a car that's been smashed up. He will need to most likely do some serious work on himself, primarily emotionally and at the level of his animal body, let's say, so trauma deep down. And when it comes down to why he would be so undeveloped, so beaten down, so in this broken state, it is likely to be due to what took place during his early years, and what took place then would have deeply traumatized him and stopped him from being able to grow and develop. And so he can be emotionally like a boy as opposed to feel like an adult, because he will look like one, but he probably won't feel like one. And so at this stage of his life, his mother probably used him to meet some of her adult and unmet childhood needs. And if he expressed his needs, he would have been punished, disapproved of, and or abandoned. And so keeping his needs to himself probably wouldn't have stopped this from taking place, but it may have decreased the amount of times it did take place. And so he would have had to have lost touch with his true self. So his feelings, needs and wants would have been split off, and he would have probably ended up going into his head. And although he would have lost touch with himself, he would have developed a very good connection to what his mother wanted. And so he would have had to have been like a parent from day one, as opposed to a child. So during a stage of his life when he needed to receive, to take in, he had to give. And this is why he won't feel strong and have a strong sense of self-love and self-worth. And in addition to this, his father may not have been around, or he may have been around, but he may not have been emotionally present. So either way, he wouldn't have received the support, the guidance, and the encouragement to develop courage from his father. And this would have played a part in why he was unable to develop his inner strength, his masculinity, because his mother would have played a big part in why he was unable to develop his femininity and to develop a strong foundations. And then on top of that would have been the masculinity, and this wouldn't have developed either. And if his father was around, he may have been physically abusive, so they both would have destroyed him unconsciously. And so instead of preparing him to handle life, to know how to stand on his own 2 feet and to take care of business, so to speak, he will have been greatly undermined. And this is why, coming back to the car analogy, he will need to rebuild the car, because he can't just trade himself in and get a new body, a new brain. He's got to repair himself, and this is something that can take many years and require a lot of patience and persistence. And so the ability just to keep going no matter what. He may fall off, but as long as he stays in the ring like Rocky and keeps going, he will get there. So if you're a man and you can relate to this and you have been so beaten down, then please know that you can rise up again. You can rebuild yourself. Like the phoenix, you can rise up. But you have to receive the right support, and you have to keep going. You have to know that your life matters, you are important. So don't give up on yourself. Your parents may have effed you over unconsciously and betrayed you and abandoned you in so many ways. But you don't have to abandon yourself now. You can change your life. So please don't suffer in silence. To find out more about the services that I offer and how I can assist you on your journey, go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk. I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.